ходил на ютубе. Я вот у него как раз спрашивал, есть ли вообще, ну, матчапы, в которых ОД играет без Метеорхаммера, насколько это рентабельно. Он говорил, что вот когда играешь против Пака, Лайфстиллера, там, Джиггернаута какого-то, вот против них типа Метеорхаммер может быть не самым хорошим решением. Там против Марфа можно вот купить, например, ПТ, Мидас, Вичблейд, БКБ. Вот. То есть это прям такой типа хороший билд. Вот. И на линии ты играешь как бы не через Макшиный Астрал, а через Макшиную Арбу. Такой еще билд есть на ОД. То есть он, в принципе, рабочий, но, понятное дело, Метеорхаймер — это имба. Но это же для мидового ОД как бы такой билд. А тут у нас мидовый Void Spirit. Так, Ку рискует отдать ФБ. Все ХП просто потерял, да, ОД.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Runes go dark.
The Phantom strikes.
Да, борода. С Корроуженом уже очень сложно будет. И, ну, инче вроде там кемпы-то все подблочили, но вот уже тут как бы вторые левела у всех, и эта линия, похоже, Фнатиками не будет проиграна, это точно. Вот. Там в центре Армел тоже, в принципе, чувствует себя хорошо. На Вивера нападают, Диджея стараются прохарить. Ну, вот еще. Ну, нет, тут все, вот. Давай, Next. Сразу. ОД умер, телепорт 50 секунд. То есть тут, по-моему, уже... Морф, как бы, да, вот опять, смотри, на ОД нападают, но тут... Фласка есть? Ну, можно было бы, кстати... Но он мог бы... А он хочет, смотри! Хочет, ну тут, правда, ОД спавнится. ОД спавнится. Ай-яй-яй, показался. Ну надо добивать, добивай его. Все, не уйдешь уже. Капец, вот это возня. Ну, ОД так немножко компактнул.
Greetings!
Branches like 4 or 5 and stack up the angles. And then it doesn't matter that he's spamming you with Thunderstrike, you can actually sustain yourself.
Yeah. Like DJ just trying to rush that Urn of Shadows this game. As for Jabs, all in on the plus strength and just trying to tank it up a bit. See some of the Fnatic guys there looking, you know, calm, collected, waiting for some of these reconnects to happen there. So we will be getting back into the game in just a second. One lane we haven't talked about, Armel versus Gacha Boy, aka Fearless. Mid lane looking pretty even, slightly puck favored so far. Are you expecting any big things out of these two mid laners early on?
Well, Gacha Boy is trying to go for a kill, but yeah, I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of this lane. It's completely skill based. Let's just say that both of these heroes have their weaknesses and strengths against each other, right? Later on, Puck, once he gets that Dream Coil, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier for him to get the kills, right? Every time you get that Dream Coil on top of Gacha Boy, yeah, he cannot move, and if you have follow-up, it should be an easy kill, on paper at least.
Yeah, Fnatic do a good job securing both water runes, making sure that Gacha Boy's lane's a bit harder. Top lane,
Bottom lane,
Fubui gets going on, and bottom lane. They're looking for a couple of kills here. They've lost the Enchantress. As they go on to Masa. Raven gonna get the kill. Ench trading it. Oh, sorry, he's not going to get the kill. But defensively, Astrals himself, and Raven is not going to find the kill. He has to back off and can't actually get it because of the Salve Astral. Nice play from OD.
Yeah, it was a very nice play. Sadly for Raven, the Centaur just disappeared before he went on the OD, right? Like, if Cent gets that one hit, Masaros dies there. But still, I mean, they've had a ton of success on this bottom lane, so I'm glad that Masaros is coming back at least a little bit to make it competitive.
Yeah, considering how this lane started, they motivate Trust have to feel like, okay, you know, it's going okay-ish now. OD and PA, even on CS. So we'll see if there's going to be any more action down here.
Which is kind of weird considering how much OD was missing from the lane, right? Like, he just wasn't there. He was dead for the first 3-4 minutes.
Like with Enchantress coming back with a Hellbear Smasher, Fnatic maybe just going to opt to play this one a little bit safer, a little bit more defensive, but they have got the third hero coming on down. Weaver could swing the tides for them as they do go looking for the kill onto Master's OD. He goes for the TP out. Anything to cancel that? Nope. Instead, they're going to have to go on Q, who doesn't have a charge, has a TP of his own. It's going to be close. They've got the damage. Nicely played by Fnatic to get the kill onto Raven.
Yeah, that was just a ton of minus armor from the Orb of Corrosion, from the Swarm, right? So, sadly, Spirit Breaker, you're tanky, but you're not that tanky. Overall, what we're waiting for is for Masaros to finish off his Meteor Hammer, and then the bottom lane should change slightly. Because this matchup is... I mean, usually you expect OD to dominate almost any single lane, right? But you're playing into a PA, and she can get on top of you very easily. OD hates playing versus all these heroes that have mobility built-in skills, right? And Masaros?
He's a bit low on mana. The charge is not going to connect because of the Astral. Doesn't look like they'll kill Massa, but maybe with the Urn damage, they're going to look to chase him down. The bug on him. With another impetus, Massa getting very low, but they've lost vision with the bug going down, and Yanuel be a little careful. Doesn't look like any casualties for the time being down bottom.
I expected the enchant into another enchant, so you have 3 stuns, but it didn't happen. Here we go.
They're going on Raven down bottom. Yep, it's the hammer, and Raven can't blink away. He times it well, but Massa may die in the process, as Raven willing to trade his life for the kill. Get the kill on Massa first. There's a rotation coming in. It's the Morphling. He's coming with the ultimate. He's turned himself into that Weaver. He's fishing around in the trees. He's not going to find anybody. DJ has the Urn charges, so he's healing himself back up, and Jack Boy's with the rotation, not really finding what he was hoping for.
They have Void Spirit here as well now. Gacha Boy, he was thinking about joining them, but yeah, sees that there is no possible kills, so moves away. This bottom lane just became a bloodbath. Meanwhile, Doom on top lane just chilling.
Yeah, they're not done. It's like, they're like, oh, they see Mass, they're like, oh, can we go for more? Armel's here, we've got Coil. But it looks like they're going to decide against it. Armel is going to be pushed away from this bottom lane. It's like both teams happy to, you know, settle things down. They realize, you know, there's other lanes. Bot lane isn't the only lane.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a team such as Fnatic, you understand this OD pick very well if you're letting it go through. And so far it looks that they've answered it in a pretty good way. Like having all these heroes like Puck and Weaver and PA that can get close and personal to him and that can dodge meteor hammers easily. Just make Masaros afraid of pushing tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. Like usually, look at this tier 1, like usually it would be already at least 50% HP when you're playing versus an OD, but he's been unable to use Meteor Hammer. This is gonna be the first time.
Yep. Gets the PA under the tower. Doesn't actually hit the tower with the hammer. I guess it was just a bit too far away to get both hero and tower, as DJ on the Weaver should be okay here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm surprised he didn't hit the Spirit Breaker a couple of times there, as the charge is on cooldown, he knows it, but yeah, doesn't wanna be a little bit too cocky and then get charged.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Actually, Fnatic the one pressuring towers early on with the Enchantress. Pushing up top, they've taken a tier 1 tower while keeping their bottom tier 1 fully healthy, so let's see if there's any play that Motivate Trust can make for themselves. Right now, they're just kind of content to focus a bit more on just farming and playing this one a bit slow.
Yeah, which is interesting, right? You have the Spirit Breaker on the bottom lane protecting the OD, but the OD himself isn't really pressuring that hard, and now that opens up some plays for Fnatic. They can decide to either pressure mid while OD is pressuring bottom, or perhaps even TP bottom and defend it completely. All because they're the ones that took the tower first on top lane. It just opens up different strategies for them.
The down bottom doing a good job of just delaying this push. The hammer going to come out again. Ping in, they're TPing in the Puck. They want to go on Massa. They know the Astral's on cooldown for a little bit longer, but it's coming up in a couple of seconds. Instead, Armel going to drop the Dream Call on Q's Spirit Breaker, but I'm not sure they're going to have the damage. Maybe with another orb in a couple of seconds, but
Disruptor
coming in. Disruptor, he's level 6. He catches the Puck. Great catch with the kinetic field as well, and the Puck locked down is going to be brought down as a double kill going to Disruptor's way. Absolutely perfect play from this Disruptor.
Yeah, he was at the right spot, at the right time, uses his ulti, catches 2 heroes that really hate being in that stat. Everyone hates being in Static Storm, but Puck and Weaver, if you catch them, they're just dead like 99% of the time. So, really good read from him to move in. And nice counterplay. I guess they expected. If I can see it happening, right? If I can see this Puck rotating bottom and trying to defend versus OD, they can as well. So they set up with the Disruptor a little bit earlier.
Nice little bait, and now they bring in the Morphling to finish off the tower with them. Morphling thanking his lucky stars. He got the Possessed Mask, considering he didn't go for any lifesteal. So he's a happy camper with the Lincoln Sphere being rushed against Doom, of course. So looks like both teams are going to settle kind of into a greedier pattern here. You know, you've got Doom on one side, you've got Morphling on the other. Do you think one team is more pressured to kind of be the ones playing aggressive right now?
I feel like both teams are happy with going late game. I don't. Obviously, when you're playing versus a Doom, sorry, you're kind of worried, right? It doesn't matter how many Lincoln Spheres you're gonna get. If he gets on top of you with Halberd, Full Stab, whatever, you'll get doomed. That's a -1 hero in fights.
Charge mid doesn't see really any follow-up, as Void Spirit with the DD rune is poised to defend this tower. They don't want to give Fnatic the tier 1 mid tower. That would open up the mid map, the map quite dramatically. Got Raven just trying to finish off that Battle Fury. Yep. And they bring him down. They're going to need backup, and the backup's pretty far away, but he commits the Nether Strike as well into a glimpse. Jab's getting pulled back in, doesn't get out of the kinetic field, so he may be going down here. We get the Doom out on the Void Spirit, so he's looking for that return kill for his team. He knows his fate. And DJ and Yanuel, the 2 Fnatic supports, want to finish off Gacha Boy. Is there a deny? They look for it, but they don't find it. It's Raven getting the kill, make it 2. As Armo gets a second one on the Spirit Breaker. Fnatic coming up big with a nice little bait on the Doom. They responded very well there.
Yeah, they just have full control of this top lane, right? The dire jungle, and it's very easy for them to connect to any sort of a play that Motivate Trust try. But because of that, Masaros is getting more farm and he's being freer on the bottom lane. So it's all kind of a trade, right? Even though you trade poorly on Motivate Trust and you lose 2 for 1, the OD is getting closer and closer towards his Aghanims. So I don't think you're way too sad about the state of the game if you're MTG.
One thing Fnatic continue to do well, though, using this Enchantress is pressuring this mid-tier 1 tower, just getting that Medallion on a creep with the Enchantress bonus damage and getting that tower almost down to deny range. And I think Motivate Trust realize Fnatic's committing hard for it, so they're going to go for that first kind of real move of the game. They smoke up and they are on the hunt, probably looking for a bigger fish to fry. They don't want just these supports. Instead, they're going to find the Doom. It's a core hero, and his Midas hasn't been used. Get him with the Midas off cooldown. That's a great kill if they can do so. I believe they should have the damage here in jabs. One or two more right clicks ends up going down. So nice kill for Motivate Trust.
Yeah, you could see that he's trying to go into the medium camp, then he's trying to go towards the hard camp, anything just to use that Midas. Doesn't get it. They do lose the tier 1 on the mid lane during that process though.
The power of the end. She just keeps sending creeps at it with the Medallion, and eventually it goes down.
Here I am.
If Motivate Trust can make a response, they're collapsing on this mid lane, even bringing in Jackie. He's got a completed Lincoln's here, so perhaps feeling like this is a timing where they can fight. A couple decent morph targets. It can get someone like the Weaver. It does make him pretty impactful in a team fight.
I feel like both of these carries aren't perhaps Morphling, like you said, because of his ultimate. Because of just being able to morph into one of these targets, he's a bit more useful. But both of these carries aren't necessarily too happy at their item build right now when it comes to joining fights, right? Like, you'd rather continue farming, getting one extra item, BKB on PA, and I'm not sure what Morphling is getting. He's actually going for a Manta, so a very... well, let's say it's just not that flashy E-Blade. He won't be just destroying an Ench in 1-2.
Yep. All in on the kind of defensive items. Lincoln's for the Doom, maybe the, say, Manta for like the Silence, the Waning Rift. Very kind of defensive, but more just a hero that you get enough items and you can do damage, or same with the levels, so...
Here I am.
See how it pans out.
For me, Manta feels like, okay, I'm getting this Manta, then I'm getting 2 more items, and then I'm ready to just destroy everyone.
Yeah.
But it just feels that, like that item build in which your team is always going to wait for you. You won't be the one that's really making a huge difference early on.
And on the other side, you've got a Battle Fury PA, so as we can see by the net worth, you're not out farming a PA when she has the Battle Fury, and that's going to be at least a little bit concerning for Motivate Trust, when they look at the other side and see how well this PA is doing.
Oh, 100%. If you're Fanatic, that's what you need. You really need these 2 BKBs on the PA, on the Doom, and you're pretty much set. You're ready to take as many engagements as you can. They would love to do it before Masteros gets an Aghanims, by the way, but I don't think that's happening. He's 160 gold away.
They're gonna prevent those Astros from coming into play. They get the Doom caught at the top lane with the Glimpse in the Static Storm, but he manages just to kind of walk on out of it. The Glimpse back now coming.
Where are you going?
Screen Astral into a Meteor Hammer, and I think to cancel this one, no siree. With the Sanities, they drop the Hammer, kill the Doom, get the Edge to follow up as well, and Gacha Boy maybe hunting, looking for more. Has that Yule Scepter as a catch, but doesn't want to commit his last Astral Step charges. Does look like...
Harmless charge?
Yeah. Does he realize this one? Can he get off a phase shift? Doesn't do so. Is there a bash? He gets up, brought down by the Void Spirit catch. Great play from Motivate Trust to kill 3 Fnatic heroes. They're down on the farm game, but they are finding these kills now.
Yeah, they're finding the kills mostly because of Fnatic's over-eagerness to take these fights, right? Like, we were waiting for the BKBs, they learned, they just went in onto the tier 2, and now they might lose the PA as well.
Yeah, they're just making all the right moves. Can they get the PA? There's no BKB yet, and they do so. They're getting kill after kill. Getting active, using the power of the Spirit Breaker plus Disruptor. Anybody caught out of position, you can almost always kill the charge, gives you the vision, you can set the glimpses. And Fnatic are just getting picked apart.
Yeah, Motivate Trust, they're just playing every single fight properly, right? After killing the puck, instantly smoking into the PA.
And another kill.
And another kill, like...
He went for the tower. Yeah.
At this point, it's like... I said before it's Motivate Trust, but truly what's happening is Fnatic is being a little bit subpar. I feel like they need to get their stuff together, converge after the BKBs and then take some moves. They shouldn't risk anything any longer because they're being punished heavily. Like that puck kill on mid lane, if I was the puck, I'd probably get tilted a little bit because that's the only way you die to a Spirit Breaker, right? If you're close to the trees and he charges you, you don't have time to react to that. Mid lane now. He seems dead.
It sure looks like it. They throw out the Static Storm to make sure of it. That's back-to-back deaths in this mid lane. Armel's puck 1, 3, and 2. Not a scoreline. Imagine you'd be happy to see if you're a Fanatic or a Fanatic fan right now. That's just, you know, a hero like Puck is not meant to be dying this game, but the Disruptor pick has worked so well.
Yep, I feel like I'm not the only Puck that would get tilted after trying to that Spirit Breaker and then mid as well. But he is creating, like, you know, when you're a support player, you always tend to go for the, he's creating space, right? PA getting closer to the BKB, I suppose. But they have had quite a few kills now, and the lead that they've got has all but disappeared.
Yes, it feels like something like 6 or 7 kills in a row Motivate Trust just got in succession there, and no real response from Fnatic, who their greed getting the better of them, it just feels like in many ways. And the good vision from Motivate Trust, you know, when they catch the PA, they have that high ground ward and stuff, but for Fnatic, yeah, at some point you can't just afford to keep getting picked off and playing this greedy.
Dire are scanning.
So it's 200 gold away for PA. Doom has already got it, and from this point, I think they will start making some moves. So far, it definitely has been difficult. Like, you're playing into this OD, he has Aghanims. Without BKBs, you can't even fight, really. He's going to put under, like, 1 or 2 of your heroes, and the damage from Sanity's Eclipse will destroy everyone. So I can completely understand that they're in a difficult spot, and they're just trying to somehow get to the BKBs.
Yep. Gotta see what Fnatic can do. They've got BKBs, and they're going to force a Roshan here with the minus armor from the bugs. On the Enchantress Medallion, or Solar Crest now. Raven is in the pit, trying to get that Aegis. Can Motivate Trust make this move to get there in time? They're going to have Gacha Boy jumping on in. He goes a bit early to get the Roshan, but he made his kill off the Enchantress. So they got the Static Storm is there. Maybe a little bit wasted on the Enchantress as they're trying to get the PA in the pit. Raven BKBs, but it's perhaps a little bit too late. It's an absolute mess in the pit as Q gets it. He snatches at PA. He's trying to kill them through this one, but it isn't going to be enough initially as Jack Boy's on the Morphling, getting Spirit Vesseled up and bullied away by the Doom, but he doesn't go down here, and the PA dead now, so that's a big problem for Fnatic. We get the Doom brought back in by the Glimpse, and with another Astral coming out, it should be Motivate Trust coming out on top. Steal the Aegis, kill the PA and the Doom. Great fight for them.
Yeah, the buyback from Enchantress as well. Just a great fight from them getting into that pit. They, like, this play feels so forced. Like, you're going into this pit after the BKBs. I understand. Maybe what they're thinking as well is, okay, let's bait them into this fight. Let's force them to fight now that we have BKBs. Because if we smoke up and just chase them, they might just bail. They might dodge us. If we go into the pit, they have to fight us. However, you're putting yourself in a bad position. There's just all these AoE spells. The Aghanims from Void Spirits as well, just completely wreaking havoc on them in that pit. And PA, Raven, he tried to BKB and finish off the Aegis on his own, but it wasn't even that close. It wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna hit it for 2 more seconds and I get it. No, he needed to waste half of his BKB to kill Roshan, and then their Spirit Breaker with the ulti to actually stun him through the BKB. Just Motivate Trust, they're doing all the right moves, and feels like Fnatic, they're a little bit shaky throughout this game so far.
And one of the things I've noticed, we've talked about the importance of these BKBs and the timing for Fnatic. With how well Boomboy has done on this disruptor, he's almost completed an Axe Scepter. He's got the Philosopher's Stone. We're gonna catch Puck mid now. It's okay. They throw the Astral, and that should be enough damage to kill the Puck as he comes out. They commit the Static Storm as well. The Enchantress gonna pop on out. The Doom does get the BKB. He's looking just to turn and fight him with Raven coming on the PA. They want Masses OD, but he gets another Astral off. Can he blink away? Does do so. Blinks down south the way he was facing just to make sure he can get the blink off, and they don't finish off the kill. That's the BKB's committed, and now Raven is in all sorts of trouble. Without this BKB, he's got to find a way out. He's instead just going to try and fight his way out of this one, but now with the Morphling showing up, it spells trouble as he goes down. Adaptive Strike to finish him off. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. One outplay after another after another. They get the puck, they get the PA. Pretty much the best 2 kills they could ever hope for. And did they lose anyone even? I don't think so.
No.
Like GOD blinked out, like you said.
Radiant's middle tower
This
is
astral
under attack.
imprisonment is just so difficult to deal with at this point. Like you want to kill the Spirit Breaker? Nope.
Got the Insane to cancel the TP. Okay, that'll do it.
Yeah. It's a decent kill. Nothing great, but it's something at least.
Considering, yeah, they've had like 1 kill in, I think, in like the last like 8 to 10 minutes or so, and they just keep getting obliterated in these fights. Puck, ooh. We've seen a few times this Puck getting caught out by this Yule Scepter into Remnant. That's something that... Oh, nice blink hook stomp. They get the Doom out. That should be a kill. Like, Coil gonna be off the mark as Masa gets a nice little blink out, but they should still have this kill. A second Astral. They're biding their time, waiting up the Doom, but that Doom still has plenty of time on it, and they'll get the kill.
It was a nice attempt from him to save the Void Spirit, but there's just no follow-up. His teammates weren't really close enough, and also when you're using Meteor Hammer mid.
Yep. Time well, DJ. They don't have the protection.
So close on the edge.
Oh, yep. They got him. Yep. Time lapse out though. Oh, he didn't want to commit the Static Storm. Would have had the kill if he used it.
Dire's bottom tower
Because he
is
didn't
under
though,
attack.
now they can smoke up, and that Static Storm that you mentioned, and you mentioned the Aghanims before, is completed. So...
Okay.
Pretty much worth it to save that and show the axe on someone else, I feel like.
Puck playing so safe. I almost just been caught one too many times where he knows he can't just start showing in waves. They're gonna catch the end here, but that's, you know, for Fnatic, that's kind of the hero that don't mind tanking a smoke gank.
Oh man, is this the new Earthshaker Morphling combination? Spirit Breaker Morphling?
Oh, Spirit Breaker Morphling.
Yeah, he's got the Aghanims. He's going to be charging like constantly across the map. It's oh no, this is gonna be so difficult to play against.
Just thinking of the pub games. Motivation runs, they've got big ideas.
It's so obvious even, like this idea is so good.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I feel bad for Fnatic at this point. Like, it's obnoxious enough to deal with one Spirit Breaker. Now they have two.
They're going to play the split push game. Armel with Boots of Travel just chipping away down bottom. Has a Lincoln Sphere queued up. It's tough for him. Where did Fnatic go from here? Yeah, sorry. Where do you think Fnatic go from here with how poorly this game has been going the last 5-10 minutes?
I'm just clicking at heroes and checking how many of them are actually buying Lincoln Spheres. So Puck is going for one, Weaver is going for one, PA going for one as well after the Dezo. And this is back to your question. It's hard, right? Like, you need to have a perfect fight. You need to find the right Doom, perhaps on the OD, eliminate him, and then you can take a fight afterwards. Like, if you don't Doom the OD, he will be saving targets. Yeah. Okay, you have more things than just the Doom. You have the Ring-Coil as well. So that's an option too. But you need to eliminate the OD from the fight, and then you're still strong enough. Like, it's only 2k advantage for Motivate Trust. It's not like this PA doesn't hit hard. She does. So.
And level 18 PA, so gets that final point in coup de grace, finds a Titan Sliver as well, which could be pretty nice. Or actually, maybe that was the other team finding the Titan Sliver, but both teams farming each other's Ancients and just trying to get what they can from the map. And probably for Fnatic, it's kind of like a sigh of relief that they can finish some of these much-needed items for themselves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I feel like Fnatic are definitely the ones that are more happy with status quo, right? Like, they want to be just stepping on the brakes a little bit and waiting to get a couple of items. Meanwhile, if you're Motivate Trust, this Aghanims on Void Spirit, Aghanims on Morphling, Aghanims on Disruptor, like, you're more than happy to fight right now. You mentioned Philly Stone, it's so good to get it on Disruptor, probably the best hero. Like,
these 5s, you get like it's such a game-changing Aghanim Scepter.
The moment you get it, you instantly queue up. You just instantly queue up Aghanims, right?
Yeah. My favorite part of the Disruptor Ags is when you hover over, it's just 2 words: mutes items. Like every other Aghanim Scepter has like a paragraph about what it does. Disruptors, it's straightforward, it's simple, it does one thing, and that one thing is crazy good.
It says the scepter of a wizard with demigod-like powers, though, as well. So
that's
something.
True. No, I mean, when you hover over the axe upgrade.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. That's always there anyway.
Well, it's gonna cause some problems, but you mentioned jumping on the OD to stop the saves, but it feels like Disruptor's another hero that maybe they don't have to kill, but they have to make sure they get off their BKBs before that Static Storm comes out.
It's
Unpause back into this one.
It's like you get charged. If you get charged and Disruptor is around, you're dead. That's pretty much how it is, right? Like, because you won't be able to get the BKB through all the stuns of the Spirit Breaker, and then you won't be able to get the BKB because of all the Static Storms that you're in.
He's kind of big. Oh, they don't actually have the damage to finish him off. Gets away, got out of the sentry range, I believe, and that perhaps saved his life.
They had the dust as well in Void Spirit. Maybe it was in. Maybe he didn't have it in the inventory and was in backpack, but. Weaver is elusive. If you don't kill him instantly and you see that you cannot, you just bail because he has that ulti, Sukuchi, he's out. But there's a smoke from Fanatic and from Motivate Trust.
Yeah, it looks like Motivate Trust have an idea, and they should know pretty well where Fnatic have been playing. They're constantly pushing out this bottom lane. They're looking to sweep through this jungle. The Disruptor does show, though, on a little D-ward mission, so it seems like Motivate Trust happy just to kind of reveal themselves, take the enemy outpost.
Are scanning.
We'll see if Fnatic can maybe take this bottom tier 2 tower.
It was Puck as well showing top lane, but Tormel, he does have Boots of Travel. So he can do this. And he also has Lincolns, so from this point onwards, he's not really afraid of being the split pushing one, showing himself a bit.
Play from DJ just being pesky. He's constantly catching mid-waves, sniping couriers, willing to kind of throw away his life if needed, but he's managed to not even get caught that much. So really good elusive play from the Weaver.
Dire's top tower.
Still looking for more couriers.
It feels good when you're a Weaver and you can play this kind of a game behind enemy lines, just cover up stuff, just killing couriers.
You have to be good when you're up against Spirit Breaker too.
Oh, 100%.
Radiant are scanning.
If he shows himself for like a split second too long, he's dead. He's charged and dead.
Well, the standoff will commence soon around this Roshan pit. As much as Fnatic have been fine playing on that bottom side, pushing out the wave, that's going to change here. Now that Roshan is back, they realize they have to kind of venture back towards that Rosh area of the map.
You might wish to retract your last
Lincoln does get popped. It's the charge breaking it, and they're going to look to jump in. Gotcha Boy catches the Weaver here. They followed up with the charge in the Morphling. That's him charging. He gets the first kill. But the PA coming, the BKB, Raven's caught. Managed to get out of this one, and with the Doom coming out, they may be able to turn this fight around, but the OD caught in the coil can't save everyone as much as he'd like. He runs out of Astral charges, and now he's the target they want to go on. Gets the sub-Astral off, keeps himself alive a bit longer, but Jack Boys is back in with the Morphling charge. He catches out the Doom, goes in, bursts him down. Meanwhile, Raven's PA is on the backlines of Motivate Trust, finishing off the Disruptor, getting a kill there, but now Raven getting chain stunned up with the charges. There is just too much control coming out from this Motivate Trust side as they're going to go on the Enchantress as well. Adaptive Strike, not enough damage to finish him off, but the Spirit Breaker will make sure they get it.
I felt like that's the possible best scenario for Fnatic. They're fighting on their own high ground, they have vision, they break the smoke, they pop that Doom on Void Spirit, and they pop their BKBs before Static Storm, but it still wasn't enough. Like, it looked like it just might be, but I feel like after killing off that Void Spirit, they needed to somehow converge and fall back together. They pushed their luck a little bit too far, Q bought back, and then obviously Morphling with that charge went in, destroyed the Doom,
Dire's bottom tower is
and
under
won the fight pretty much back to them. He has an eagle now, he didn't even have it, yep.
Charge 1, charge 2. Oh my god, you mentioned what's worse than a Spirit Breaker is 2 Spirit Breakers, and we see it there again. This Morphling in that last fight did by far the most damage of his team, and it was just charging. Anyone he charged and went in on just seemed to die and melt to the fall-off damage from an Adaptive Strike. And with an E-Blade now, he's just going to be an absolute backline sniper.
Yeah, like, how do you kill a Morphling? It's a very difficult hero to kill anyway, and now you are playing versus a Morphling that has Bulldoze too, right? Like,
yeah.
Status resistance through the roof. When we're talking about status resistance, I feel like Gacha Boy could have went for something that gives some of it, as you're playing versus a Doom and you have this Astral Imprisonment to work with, right? So maybe if you have a bit of status resistance, that Doom would be gone after 1 or 2 imprisonments.
under attack.
Then you can fight afterwards, but Lincoln's also works if you
Radiant's middle tower has
manage to
fallen.
survive that way.
Now the OD gets his Ag Shard thanks to the Roshan, so movement potential in those Astrals could be useful against the Doom target.
Were you confused the first time you saw that? Like,
Yeah.
heroes moving, yeah.
It doesn't seem natural. It took me back to when Dota 2 first came out. There was this bug that Puck could actually move while phase shifted. Like the most trippy thing ever. You'd see like this phase shifted Puck just like moving up through the ground, moving in Chronosphere even.
Yeah, I actually can't remember. That was probably just when Dota 2 came out, right? I didn't have it for like the first couple of months.
Okay, I think it was like 2012 type era at times. But yeah, it was after. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when. There's always been some fun, interesting mechanics. Bench is gonna get picked off here. Just a little warning mission.
I remember playing Dota 1 using Manta, and back when TB had something like a Manta style spell, right, to create illusions. It wouldn't conjure them, you would split into illusions. I used Manta and that at the same time, and the hero just disappeared from the game. I just got the illusions. So we're still in beta, but we came a long way.
Yeah. I remember you used to have to shift queue the Manta with Metamorph, otherwise your illusions, to make your like illusions Metamorph.
Yeah,
That was another fun one, before it became like an aura. But here we go, Jack Boys is just this unstoppable Morphling. Beyond Godlike, he's well and truly online, and something the players mentioned in the pre-game interviews was this could just come down to a Raven versus Jackie kind of carry showdown, and that's kind of what this game on some level has become, and Jackie has the carry of all carries with this Morphling. Around. This Doom is looking for a juicy target, finds a disruptor. That's not the one he was hoping for. He instantly gets static stormed, and they're just going to take him out. They tip jabs. I believe he was probably looking for the OD, but Massa was well hidden. Now he's going to get down here. Raven has to commit a BKB early. Doesn't have a good target to go on. Get the nice route on the Q Spirit Breaker. They finish him off to start things off, but Massa's just sitting on the side. Rave defensively Astral, and Seni uses it offensively, has the Meteor Hammer and the Sanity's Eclipse. They want the PA. Raven gets glimpsed back after the blink out, and they get the kill. The Doom on the OD finally jabs, gets the target he's been looking for this entire game. Will kill the OD. Can they get the Morphling though? Jackie's the one they've got to bring down, and he's got an Aegis, so they've got to do it twice. Easier said than done. They're kind of ignoring him for now while they hunt down the Void Spirit, and with the PA dagger to start things off, they want this kill. OD's brought back. Can they catch Gacha Boy in the trees? Is there anything to cancel this one? You betcha. The War Stomp makes sure they get the kill, and the OD even brought back, so it's a hold for Fnatic.
It's a hold, and it's an impressive one. Like, perhaps this OD buyback is making it a little bit worse for Motivate Trust Gaming, as it was completely unnecessary, right? But I expected this bottom fight to just go completely in Motivate Trust Gaming way. Like, they take a couple of kills and they move back. It feels like they've made a mess up, and now Puck, he went from Dagon 1 to Dagon 5 in that one single fight. He just combined 4 Dagons. It's a feels good man for him, and they get an opportunity to get a real win condition on the side of Fnatic, right? If you finish off this OD and he doesn't have that buyback, suddenly you might have a way of taking the whole game. So it became way more interesting when it comes to who's gonna win after that last fight.
Is under attack.
4k gold lead at 37 minutes is absolutely nothing. The Aegis now expiring as well, although gets replaced by a Scotty, so Jackie continuing to farm up a Storm. But even though he's a 10,000 gold behind, it's still starting to look like a pretty scary late game PA.
Oh, for sure. And Doom as well versus Jackie, he's got a couple of those pretty good utilities, right? You have Shiva's that messes with Morphling. You also have Infernal Blade, obviously percentage based, so that also helps out. They definitely do have ways of dealing with the Morph. My only question is, let's see, Spirit Breaker Morphling. That's all I'm looking at.
And you mentioned, well, yeah, that's quite the combo. What I'm looking at is this Doom, is a Static Storm coming out on top. It's off the mark, though. And I think Motivate Trust is just going to look to disengage. But they're on the hunt here. They can catch any of these heroes. That'd be huge for them. They've got a Dream Coil, but it doesn't look like I'm going to commit on a Morphling of all heroes. And again, this Doom has now got a Ninja Gear, so he can smoke around with a Quickening Charm, and he's bought a Forward Staff to break these Lucan Spheres. So he gets a Bleak Hook Stomp. The Doom. Yeah, great charge. They go in, they block the Enchantress. They don't go on jabs there. The glimpse back catches DJ's Weaver, and he's got no way out of this one. So Fnatic have to give up their 2 supports. Not finding the initiation they wanted.
Like, how do you react to a Spirit Breaker charging you once he gets that Aghanim, right? You just cannot. it's so fast. Like, you can buy Yules, you can do whatever. I feel like the only saving grace is buying Lincolns and hoping that it cancels the charge. That's it. And Doom was, you called it really nicely. He has Quickening Charm, he has that, he had Ninja Gear as well to smoke himself up, but he was too close to, I'm not sure who was, Enchantress, right, that got charged. So he got clipped by the stun as well, and he couldn't really do anything afterwards.
Definitely feels like a win condition for Fnatic is getting a good Doom off on one of these key targets like DOD.
Oh, for sure. As it was before, right? Like, you need to either get on top of him with Armel's Puck or with the Doom. But so far, Masaru's, he was on point when it comes to being in position. And it's really not that hard to be in position as an OD. Like, you have Blink Dagger and Aether Lance. It's just, like, you have more than enough range and time to cast all your spells and also be completely out of the fight.
As for now, Motivate Trust is going to keep these lanes pushed out and split up a bit. Maybe thinking about Roche number 3, which we're going to see a timer on now. So 35 seconds from now, we get Roche out. And that's something Fnatic are going to have to be very wary of with how they play this game. Because this Roche number 3 will have either Refresher or an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, it will be probably the deciding fight of the game. What do you think about Witchbane versus OD? Let him steal more mana so you damage him more? Just give that Witchbane to, I don't know, a PA or something? It's a meme, you know.
Yeah.
It's more for a dispel, right? That dispel is pretty neat.
Visibility.
Have they? Oh yeah, so they've got it on the Weaver. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Weaver has it. Will they contest this? So far,
doesn't? I mean, they're just not in position to. I feel like this Morphling's going to kill it so fast.
Yeah, but I expect John Wall to at least send a creep there to scout it, but yeah, I guess they don't want to even fight for Roshan.
Because the ground defense game.
Yeah. But now they're getting together to smoke up. I think this was a mistake from Fnatic. I don't think that they didn't want to. Ooh, now they actually smoke up anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe it's a next level play.
Well, they want to avoid this Morphling. He's got the Aegis and all his team nearby him. So even if you can kill him once, you're never going to kill him a second time. I think Fnatic realized, okay, this smoke, we didn't find one of those like OD or Void Spirit type targets. Let's just back off, push out some lanes. and not get caught.
And there's Aeon Disc now on Masteros as well, so... And a telescope. So he's going to be imprisoning you from... it's from a different country. Different time zone.
Pass range. It's pretty bonkers when you've got the Blink Dagger to go with it. Charge down bottom, just on a creep. Q maybe hoping that a hero showed itself on the wave, but not the case. Still smoked up himself. Using the ninja gear. Yeah, just constantly trying to clear out that wave and the rest of his team elsewhere on the map.
It's probably the best change that happened to Spirit Breaker in a long time, right? Like, usually if you have a position for Spirit Breaker 40 minutes in, he doesn't have at least one of these items, BKB or Aghanim, right?
Yeah.
No matter how good his game is. But because of the charge change with Greater Patch, you can just kill off the full wave with one charge. It gives you a flash farming ability, which is what this hero desperately needed.
Yeah, he goes in, takes out the tower, and just gets out of there. Did get brought kind of low, but knowing that Fnatic aren't going to commit too much on him, definitely not a Doom when he's got an Aegis. That seems like a surefire way to lose this game if you're dooming this Morphling right now. Fnatic is they're gonna chill. At the same time, the pressure is on Motivate Trust to maybe make that move to try and breach the high ground here, and they do seem content on making another play at this high ground with the Morphling, maybe once he's healed up a little bit.
I feel it will be the same like on the bottom lane. Just this time it will be a bit easier as you have Aegis cheese to work with. It will just morph into Spirit Breaker, go uphill, hit it. Yeah, but he is sitting on 50% HP like you mentioned, so needs some time to heal up.
Have that life steal anymore to play around and just keep those illusions pushing out. So time is ticking with Aegis 2 minutes left on it, so still lots of time, and illusions continue to be sent up to the high ground here. Charge it. And yeah, they want to make that play. So see Enchantress Q kind of trying to bait out some souls, gets rooted up. The follow-up, this is just kind of to create some space for the Morphling as they go in. The Doom's going to get used up here inside the Static Storm, but he's going to get blown up with a buyback though. Wants to maybe hold it for now. Nice defensive Astro on the Morphling. Moving around in it as the backlines has been dream pulled up. The Hut could be in some trouble if he's not careful. The Remnant waits him as does the charge. Comes out, gets out the face shift though, and that may be enough to save his life as Mel trying to get out of it. Does end up going down to the damage as the OD gets caught by the Doom and brought down as well. Spirit Breaker trying to charge his way out of this one. This one kind of falling apart from Motivate Trust. Can Jackie carry? He wades in aggressively, still has the Aegis to play around, but he's lost all 4 of his teammates. He's in a 1 versus 5, and Fnatic looking to get the clean sweep. Jackie goes for the BKB TP out. Is there a Basher? No, Raven hasn't completed it yet. Didn't actually end up going for it, so it's a team wipe, but the Morphling with Aegis gets out of there alive.
I can't believe just how well they played that fight. Like they're 15k behind at this point. It's pretty impressive. Like even Doom jumping in first and not being able to. So their plan was, let's jump in with the Doom, stun the Morphling and kill him off with the Dagon without using the Doom, right? That's why he didn't use it. He could have, but he didn't want to use it on the Morphling instantly. Yeah. Because then you have another Doom to work with after he is resurrected, which is a solid plan, but he just dies instantly as he jumps the Morphling. They don't kill him and they still make it work with Phantom Assassin just jumping in the back lines. Even though Raven got controlled heavily by Spirit Breaker, they were using everything to control him. So Armel is there hitting you, jabs with a buyback as well, and now you might be forced to use a couple of these buybacks. 25 minutes, 25 seconds, sorry.
I mean, the OD has the Astral save, so they're not going to have that save for another 20 seconds. They may just be giving up racks here. PA also bottled DD, so if a fight breaks out, PA is ready to go, ready to hit some big crits.
Yeah, you don't even want to buy back into this, right? It's like, when you see that double damage bottled on a PA, you're like, I'll stay dead. It's fine. Take the Rexes.
Yeah. No one wants to show in front of that one, and Motivate Trust, they don't lose Rax though. Not that, I mean, one lane of Rax at this stage of the game, not a game changer by any means. So, I mean, that's why Fnatic don't even try and commit for that mid Rax, because they know it's not going to change a whole lot. where things go from here. Are you surprised that DJ's Weaver hasn't gone Ag Scepter? Is this item just not as good on Weaver as it used to be?
I feel like it's still good. It's not as good as it used to be 100%, but it's still solid and it's still an item that most viewers go for. But I am seeing a rise in this Road of Athos build-up on Weaver. However, what I really feel is he had to go for the Lincolns because of the Spirit Breaker, and that's probably the main reason why you don't get the Ags.
Oh, they caught Jack Boys. Trying to wave his way through there, looking for the Doom. Is Jab, but he doesn't find it. Oh no. Ends up catching the Morphling, but is that going to be enough? Jack Boys is looking mighty healthy, just waving himself a little bit away there without the Doom on him. They just don't have the kill threat, and Fnatic, I think, not getting the initiation they're hoping for, are going to maybe disengage. Puck, Armel says otherwise. He's found the OD here, but doesn't have quite enough damage to go for it. Did he end up doing an illusion there? Do you see what happened?
I heard the Doom go off, so I'm pretty sure it didn't get Lincolns. I think it was an illusion. Yeah.
I heard, yeah, because they broke the Lincolns. Unless they recast some, maybe someone else cast a second Lincolns on him, because they do have.
That's also
Lincolns.
Yeah, that's also possible. I wasn't sure. I did hear I was watching it, then I still wasn't sure if it was popped by Lincolns or a Manta. In any case, Doom was wasted, and they didn't get it on Morphling. Jack Boys, yeah, he went full man mode there, went in with the charge.
Yep.
Double charge again.
Yep, one charge, two. Jack Boys will get the kill. And he's looking to chase down Armel and DJ perhaps as well, but... And we've got a refresher shard. Hasn't used it just yet. Doom also hiding the refresher shard. No, he's got it. Hasn't shown it just yet, but... Mid lane silence on the Puck. They follow up with a charge and they blow up Puck. Armel
no buyback.
Doesn't have buyback. Yeah, he used it in that previous team fight. So perhaps knowing this, Fnatic are going to have to find a crazy good Doom to even have a chance to win a fight here, or they're going to need PA to absolutely
Radiant's
destroy
bottom
everybody.
barracks are under attack.
Without Puck, it's just so
Double
hard.
Has fallen.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, no double Doom. Like you said, 44 seconds away from that refresher orb. I feel like you wait for it. You even give up Megas, perhaps.
They just be saying, we've got to play into Megas this game. They go in, they're looking for the Morphling. No, he's not going to go for the Doom. Raven instead on the backline brings down the Disruptor, so no Static Storm to worry about. That was a double BKBs. Now Daps goes in, he's looking for the Doom, but doesn't find the OD like he was perhaps hoping for, and now he's being focused down. It's a problem for Fnatic. No buyback on Doom. He couldn't get it off in time, and with Weaver getting blown up by Sandy's Eclipse, this could be the end for Fnatic. Just PA versus the world here. Motivate Trust, you've got to imagine they're going to look for the killing blow, look to go for the throne. And Jackie has that exact idea.
Raven on the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. Once Q, not going to find him. The Static Storm following up the Eul Scepter. He tries to, well, no forcing yourself out of that one. The E-Blade's going to blow him up. Has got a buyback, which he's going to instantly use here. As elsewhere, this hammer combo. With the Meteor Hammer, they get the Enchantress, and GG is called before Raven can even do a whole lot more. He's willing to throw away his life, maybe for some more stat padding for the enemy. GG.
Like this game went... It took a weird path for me, right? Like Fnatic at first... Like,